Today, you are not memorizing French phrases, you are learning the building blocks so you can construct your own. By the end of this video, you'll be able to greet anyone at any time of the day, introduce yourself properly, and count off any 7 days of the week without stopping to think. So let's get into the lecture. The first thing on our lecture is salutation. Salutation, which means greeting in French. Which means what? Greeting in French. So let's take it one after the other. The first item on our table is bon. Bon, B-O-N, is a masculine, and you should know that French is a gender-based language. Bon means good. Jour means day. Nuit or nuit means night. Soir, S-O-I-R. O-I in French is pronounced as wa. Wa. Soir means evening. Salut means I or hello. In most occasions, it is informal. Après means after. Midi means noon. Bon also means good, but this one is feminine. The feminine one is spelled as B-O-N-N-E. It also means good. So that is, if the word you want to collocate it with is a feminine word, you have to use bon that has N and E. If the one you want to collocate it with is masculine, you have to use B-O-N. Au revoir or ciao also means goodbye, while abento means see you soon. See you soon. I think there's one I've not had it. Maybe I had it. That is Eshante or Eshante. The pronunciation may not be correct as expected. I'm not the native speaker. It means nice to meet you or pleased to meet you. So, with everything I've said here, it is just like a background to prepare you to how they are being joined together to produce some greetings in French. Let's continue. I said the other time that bon means good, while jour means day. So the combination of bon and jour means good day, because bon means good and jour means what? Day. But it's not always like that. Bonjour or bonjour can also mean good morning. Can also mean good morning. So good day or good morning. I said soir the other time means evening, and bon means good, right? So bonsoir or bonsoir means good evening. And I said bon means good also. And I said après means after. Midi means noon. So bon après midi means good afternoon. That is what we have as good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you with me, people? So we are talking about nuit. Nuit is a French word also. It means night, but it's a feminine. So we cannot use bon, B-O-N with it. So far it is a feminine. We have to use an equivalent of good or bon that is also feminine. I don't know if you get that. So that's why we are using B-O-N-N-E instead of B-O-N. So bon nuit means good night. Good night. Good night. So that's all about greeting. So you should be able to see people and tell them good morning, good day, hi, hello, good evening, I'm happy to see you, or I'm pleased to see you, or goodbye, or goodbye. Then let's go to greeting. Note, French is a gender-based language. I think I've said it before, but let me reiterate it. Every noun is either masculine or feminine, and the describing words must match it. The describing word must match it. Nuit, which means night, is feminine. So bon changes to born from B-O-N to what? To B-O-N-N-E in front of it. Born nuit, not born nuit. This is the first appearance of a rule that reoccurs constantly. So the idea should be planted here without being overthought. The describing word depends or bends to match the noun. I hope you get that. So we have what we call se présenter. se présenter, that is introducing yourself. Parental, you meet with somebody and the person asks, comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Or you are the person that is asking that person. So you can start with salut, salut, that is I, hello. Comment tu t'appelles? What is your name? Comment tu t'appelles? What is your name? Then you go on to answer the person by telling the person about yourself, your name, your level, or whatever, as far as you want it to go. But this is just an introduction to French, where you're just going to learn some basic things like greetings, days of the week, month of the year, like le mois, le mois, do année, de l'année, and the likes. Maybe dates. You get to know uh numero, like numbers in French. So you met with somebody, or you meet with somebody and the person says comment tu t'appelles. It means what is your name, or what do you call yourself. Then, or you can go on to say je m'appelle. Je m'appelle means my name is. You can say je suis. Je suis means I am. Both are used to present your name or to tell somebody about yourself. Je m'appelle means my name is, while je suis means I am. So you can say je m'appelle. And there's something I want you to really take note of in French. French does not say I am 20 something years old. French will rather say I have 27 years old. So the second response here says j'ai un. J'ai un. Then put the number there. If you are 18 years old, that is this newt. This newt, right? This newt. This means 10. Newt, N-U-I-T, which also means night. The other time can also means, it is ambiguous. Can also mean 8. 8. So Jen, this newt, un. I have 18 years. J hyphen a high, J, this newt, han. So I have 18 years instead of I am 18 years old. I hope you are getting it. So if you don't want to go in that route, if you don't want to say my name is, you can say je suis, I am. Je, this newt, an. I am Ebenezer Oluwagbenga. Je suis Ebenezer Oluwagbenga Adeyefa. I am Ebenezer Oluwagbenga Adeyefa. Je m'appelle Ebenezer Oluwagbenga Adeyefa. My name is Ebenezer Oluwagbenga Adeyefa. I am Ebenezer Oluwagbenga Adeyefa. Are you with me, people? So another thing can be jabit. Abit means live. I means je means I. So jabit means I live. Where do you live? You can go on to talk about where you live. This is just a short interaction. It's just very short interaction. It's a way of introducing yourself. You can go further. I can say j'étudie, I am a student, j'étudie de la Université de l'Ibadan. I'm a student of the University of Ibadan. J'étudie, I am a student de la of the University de la Université de l'Ibadan of Ibadan. So note, in English, a person is a certain age, but in French, a person has a certain age. I hope you get that. In English, a person is a certain age, but in French, a person has a certain age. J'ai 20 ans literally means I have 20 years, not I am 20 years, like that of English. So in Nigerian students, it's never 20 ans in French. They have 20 ans. I hope you get that. A Nigerian student is never 20 ans in French. They have 20 ans. All right, let's go to l'alphabet français. Alphabet. Oh, this is a mistake actually. I would rather say I would rather say jour de la semaine, days of the week. Yeah, I would rather say de jour la semaine. I made a mistake here, please. This is another topic I want to teach in part 2. L'alphabet français. I made a mistake while I was writing this document. So what I want to discuss in this aspect is le jour de la semaine, like is days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. So la semaine, the first thing is la semaine means the week, the week. Then after that we have le jour, that is the day. So that's why I say le jour de la semaine, the days of the week, or the days de jour, the days of the week. Combien means how many or how much. Il y a means there is or there are. I hope you are taking note. Dernier means last, while here means yesterday. Aujourd'hui means today, while demain means tomorrow. Take note of all these words, because when we get to the exercise session, you'll be able to make a decisive decision when you want to answer those questions with all these vocabularies I'm giving to you. Lo you means day. I've explained what I was talking about. Salutation. You means day. So le jour de la semaine. Semaine means week. La semaine means what? Week. De la of. Do means of. La means day. That is definite article. So le jour, the days of the week. Le jour de la semaine. Combien means now how many or how much. So in the exercise session, I may ask you combien le jour de la semaine. I may say how many days are in the week, or then you have to answer with il y a, that is there are. Then you tell me il y a sept what? Jour de la semaine. There are 7 days in a week. I hope you are with me. Then now means what? Last. I may ask you what is the last day of the week. Here means what? Yesterday. Aujourd'hui means today. Demain means what? Tomorrow. So let's continue. Then il y a, this is a question now. Il y a combien de jours dans une semaine? There are how many days in a week? Dans means in. On is like the on indefinite article that we use with week year, han, and that shows that week year is a feminine, because if it's not a feminine, it cannot be une, it will rather be un. So il y a means there are, il y a means there are. How many? Combien de jours dans une semaine? How many days are in the week, or in a week rather, not in the week. They don't use definite article. I hope you are with me. How many days are there in a week? So students will be able to answer instantly. Il y a 7 jours dans une semaine. There are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. Then let's start with number 1. Lundi. Lundi. Lunde. Lundi, which means Monday. And you should know that, Sunday starts a week in English, but Monday starts a week in French. So second one is mardi. Please make sure that you pronounce that R. But basically, you are not doing a practical aspect of French. It is just for the exam purpose, so you have some idea, a piece of idea about it. So mardi, that is Tuesday. Mercredi, that is Wednesday. Then we have jeudi, that is Thursday. We now have vendredi, that is Friday. We now have samedi, or samedi, that is Saturday. Then we have dimanche, that is Sunday. Sunday. Then I will give you a guide for you not to forget all these days of the week, because they are actually named after planets and Roman gods. The days of the week in French, they are named after Roman gods and planets. So the story behind the days. Each French day is named after a planet or a Roman god, and knowing the story makes the word difficult to forget. Let's say for instance lundi, which is means Monday. It's derived from a Latin lunar dies, day of the moon. Lunar die means or day of the moon. French for moon is la lune, as in lunar eclipse. Le lundi, je me lève tôt. On Monday, le lundi, on Monday, I get up early. Je me lève tôt. So let's talk about mardi, which is Tuesday. Mardi means mass. Mass. We all know mass now. So Roman god of war. This is also where Mardi Gras. I don't know if you have heard about Mardi Gras. If you're a Catholic, you have heard about Fat Tuesday. Comes from the last big feast before Lent. I have class. Do français le mardi. I have French class on Tuesday. Je cours de la français le mardi. I have French class. Cours means class. Français means French. Le mardi on Tuesday. On Tuesday. So Mars means Tuesday. Lundi means Monday. Let's continue. Mercredi is Wednesday, and it is coined from the planet Mercury. Mercury, the Roman god of commerce. Fame lo mercredi. Close on Wednesdays. Fame means close. Lo mercredi on Wednesday. Let's go to John D. John D is from Jupiter, the Roman god of the sky, the odd one out since it does not obviously resemble Jupiter. Lou John D said preschool low weekend. Thursday is almost the weekend. Thursday is what? It's almost the what? It's almost the weekend. Lou John D says preschool low weekend. That is Thursday is almost the weekend. Then let's go to Fendrendi. That is Friday. From Venus. Venus, the Roman goddess of love. Good Friday is Lo Fendrendi, sent in French. So Good Friday is Lo Fendrendi. You know, the Good Friday we usually have if you're a Christian. Lo Fendrendi, saint in French. So Lo Fendrendi est mon jour préféré. Lo Fendrendi, Friday is my favorite day. My jour, that's day. Préféré or prefer rather, please, sorry for that mispronunciation. Prefer means my favorite. So let's go to Samedi. Samedi is coined from the odd one with no planets. There's no really planets for Samedi. So day of Sabbath, the day of rest. On joue en foot le samedi. We play football on Sundays. On joue, Joue means play. We play football on Sunday. On joue à foot le samedi. So let's go to the last one, which is Dimanche, Sunday. It is from Latin Dies Dominica, the Lord's Day. Compare English words such as deity, which also begin with D. Je me repose le matin. I rest on Sunday. Repose means rest. Je me, I rest on Sunday. I rest on Sunday. So we are going to the end of the lecture. Let's talk about extra time vocabulary. Avant here, the day before yesterday. Après demain, the day after tomorrow. Le weekend, the weekend. Le semaine prochaine, that is next week. Le semaine dernière, that is last week. Quelle est la date de jour? What is the day today? Quelle est means what is. Quelle est la date du jour? What is the date today? Quel jour sommes-nous? Quel jour sommes-nous? What day is it? Literally, what day are we? What day are we? What day are we? Je travaille du lundi au vendredi. I work from Monday to Friday. Do means from. Travail means work. Je travaille du lundi au vendredi. I work from Monday to Friday. So, let's quickly do a recap. Means to have. Je suis means I am. And don't forget that in French, when you want to say your age, you don't say I am. You rather say I have. You use je rather than je suis. Are you getting this now? So, je rather than je suis, and all 7 days in order. Next time, we go deeper into gender. In our subsequent classes or parts, this is part 1. We are going to do part 2, part 3 as we go, because we are still going to talk about date. We're going to talk about number. In our subsequent class, part 2, we talk about number and how you can easily master number. So if you are coming across my page for the first time, I implore you to please subscribe turn on the bell, share to others so they can benefit from this. And if there's anything that is not clear to you, I'm going to attach a group link that I've created so you can join and ask your question on that group. So let's go to the exercise. Il y a combien de jours dans un semaine? I told you the other time that you should take note of all this well. Il y a means there are how many de jours, days in a week. Il y a combien, combien means how many, de jours means day, dans means in, un semaine means what? Week. A week. So il y a combien de jours dans un semaine? How many days do we have in a week? This one is very simple. A means cinq. Cinq means what? Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq. That is fifth, Abi. So A means six, cinq. B means six. That is six in French. Sept means seven. Huit means what? Eight. So what is your correct answer? Know that in your mind. Quel est le premier jour de la semaine? So quel means what? What is? Quel means what? Is means est means is. Le premier. Le premier means first. So quel est le premier jour de la semaine? What is the first day of the week? What is the first day of the week? Is it dimanche? Is it lundi? Is it mardi? Is it samedi? Answer in your book. Quel est le dernier jour de la? Dernier, I told you the other time that dernier means last. So quel est, what is the last day of the week? So what is the last day of the week? Don't forget I told you that the first day of the week in French is Monday, but in English, the first day of the week is Sunday. So new week starts on Sunday in English, while in French, new week starts on Monday. So quel est dernier jour la semaine? What is the last day of the week in French? Mardi is named after which Roman god? I think I told you this is what I was teaching. So number 5, which day's name has no connection to a planet or Roman god? Which day? It was there while I was explaining. Samedi comes from Latin word for that the Sabbath, day of rest, the moon, commence, love, or whatever. So the correct answer. Dimanche comes from Latin meaning day of the moon, the Lord's day, day of war, day of rest. Answer. So combien means what? There is, how many or how much, last or today. Il y a means dash. I think I've said this one. Here means what? I said that too. Aujourd'hui means dash. Demain means dash. Which day is associated with Venus and also give its name to Lo Fedrendi Saint, Good Friday. So 14, Macready is connected to which god? Which Roman god? Number 15, last semaine prochain means what? Last semaine prochain means what? And the last question is 16. Quel jour sommes-nous? Is asking dash. Quel jour sommes-nous? Please, before you check all this answer, make sure that you have written all your answers first. Answer them. Don't check it and check how far you have, you are, or the level at which you are. I wish you success. I meet you in part 2, which will be out soon. Subscribe to my channel, share to others, and watch from the beginning to the end. Thank you.